Hey you guys, Scoop Malaire here. Today I am coming to you guys with something that I'm always sort of skirting around the issue with. I'm always talking about doing things to make the world a better place, or I'm mentioning sometimes I see things a little differently than how other people see things. And today I want to talk to you guys about a scenario that came up a couple days ago and how I handled it. So my wife and my son and I were at a restaurant. We had our food, eating some chicken wings, and the waitress came over and accidentally kind of stumbled as she brought us a refill on some drinks and spilled soda all over my left side. The table and the bench that I was sitting on got all wet also. The manager, who was a younger guy, came over to help clean it up. They were really apologetic. 10 minutes later, everything is dry. I'm washed up. It's not so sticky, but I'm still really wet. The food didn't get wet, so I went back and I finished eating. While we were eating, the waitress came over and apologized. She was a really nice younger lady. I said, don't worry about it. I make really dumb mistakes all the time. I'm kind of famous for that. My wife laughed it off. But what I thought was interesting was when they came later, she came with the check, it had everything on it full price. There are different ways that establishments can handle things. We're in from out of town. I only had a certain amount of clothes with me. This was going to mean either wearing something twice or having to find a laundromat. And obviously the disruption of a meal that's being paid for when you have to stop everything and 10 minutes later you start eating again and now it's cold food. The understanding you would think would be that at least my meal would be comped, if nothing else. But nevertheless, when she gave me the check and everything was there, I gave her my debit card, gave her a standard tip for what I've given for the service that she gave us, and then I walked over to where the bar was because the manager was completely by himself off to the side of the bar speaking with one of the other employees, and I asked him if he had a minute. He said yes. And I basically told him this. You know, if I had made a really big deal about getting that soda spilled all over me and was a big jerk about it, you would have given me my meal for free and probably the appetizer for free. Maybe if I complained enough, you would have given us everybody's meal for free. But I wasn't a jerk about it. And by being, cool about it, and you guys not doing anything with an obvious situation where you should have taken something off for the inconvenience of it all, what you're doing is you're allowing the guy that is a jerk to win. You're kind of making it so that you got to be a jerk in order for the right thing to be done. So all you're doing is encouraging that kind of behavior. And when I told him this, it wasn't in an argumentative way. I had already paid for my bill, but he heard what I had to say. He actually said, "Thank you, sir." And he shook my hand. And I don't know if this is going to make a difference anywhere else, but I just want to say anyone can complain and make enough noise to get money taken off of the bill or to get a free dinner or to get free dry cleaning for all of their clothing. I get that. But all that does is help you in that situation, which is fine. But what I like to do when I see the opportunity is to go out and mention something to somebody, plant a seed that might make a difference. And I'm hoping that in this case, this makes a difference for this gentleman. And just a quick aside, when I was in high school and working at the shoe store, I had a manager that told me that when he was younger and he first started out in management and a woman came back to get a refund on a pair of shoes, he was so upset about it because they were trying to make their goal that he really wasn't very nice to her. And before she left with her money, she said, "Son, you had a smile on your face when you took my money. You should have that same smile on your face when you give it back to me too." And Philip, explaining that to me then sunk in with me, and it made a difference with my customer service and all the years I worked in retail. And who knows, maybe by planting this seed with this gentleman, this really, good young manager that looks like he got a future, maybe this might make him different. Maybe it helps his career, and maybe it helps customer service that he gives or other people around him give. But this is one of those examples when I say sometimes I see things a little bit differently than other people do. And when I do that, I'd like to share it with you guys. And the other thing is I'm always talking about figure out one or two things you can do to try to make the world a better place. And I'm not suggesting that you go out and tell everybody what they could do differently or do better. But that's one of the things that all those years of management, I figured out a couple little things. And when I can drop those hints over the years, I have done so. And maybe it's made a difference. What I'm asking you to do is figure out those one or two things you can do to make the world a better place and hammer them. Do them every time they come up. Because if everybody did those one or two things all the times that they came up, well, you finish a sentence. I don't know in what way that will make the world a better place, but I know right now there are a whole lot of people waiting for some positive stuff to start happening in the right direction. Hey, don't wait for it anymore. Go out and do it. Nevertheless, I'll get off this soapbox. I know this is a little out there, but I hope you will continue to subscribe, like, and share for more Scoop Malaire.